Welcome everyone. Today, the 13th session of this Sharada Lipi class. So before we begin with our session today, let me read the shlok from this Panchastavi, number 13. This is 13th number shlok. Chandi tva charinam bujar vidho Belvidalolundhana Trotyat Kantak Kotibhi Parichayam Ye Shamana Jagmukara Te Dandam Kushachakra Chap Kulisha Srivatsamatsya Ankitaiः जायन्ते पृथिवी बुझा कथमिव अम्बोजप्रभे पानभिः. Now we'll begin with the corrections. Nidhi ji is here. She will take us through the corrections and the assignments, and then we can start with today's session. Nidhi ji?
Yes, I'm there. If you could just give me
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, 1 minute. Is it?
Yes, it's coming. Yeah, it's there.
Okay, so taking today's corrections, this is from Sanjeev Raina ji. Pretty much most of the work is correct. There are a few corrections. In case of there is a correction that is to for Andhra. So the correction not shown here. I'll just show it in a while. Rest of the words are correct. Andhra. Then there is Kharch, Grahan, Kartik. I'll just come back to Andhra, which is marked here. Rest of the correct words are correctly written. I would just request to leave a little space between the words so that in case there's a correction that can be drawn there or marked on the same sheet. If you could just leave a little space while writing the words, that will be helpful for us to mark. Then there is a correction which is shown for Karkash. So when you write R on the top, it is shown here. So if you see the corrections written here, when you write R on the top, you have to write the R complete, and the K when written below you don't have to draw the Shirorekha for K. So K will lose its Shirorekha. It will be drawn like this, which is shown here. So if this is R, K will lose its Shirorekha, it will be drawn like this below R. So that is in case of Karkash. Then there is Varna. So here Varna. So if you're writing R and R, that will take a different form. What you've written here is following this particular rule of R and K, whereas in case of R and N, it will take a different form. So it's shown here, but I'll just draw it here. Let me just change the color. So while writing R and N, you have to write it like this. So ro and no basically would get combined. So this is this particular correction in case of varn, and same in case of Krishna also. So if you're writing sh half and under it, they'll get combined. So it is written in a single stroke. So this particular in case of Krishna, if you see, correction has been shown here. I'll just rewrite it somewhere. I'll just write it here on the top of the page. So if you're writing sh like this, so you get the same stroke down, and no will be joined to the vertical stroke here. So it is not separately written. So what is written here, I'll just show. It's like the end of the page. So it is written one. I'll just draw it again. So if it's sure like this, the no is not written separately. It doesn't is not to be written separately. It is joined here the way I've shown it here. No will get joined to sure when written on the top. Okay, now come. Have we written? Have we done, Veronica ji, all the forms of the and the while writing? So I'll take the correction for Andhra accordingly.
The is pending. That's why the correction also I think is not made there.
Yeah, that's
so we
fine.
will
So
show
I'm
the
not.
today.
Yeah, so not to confuse it further, let's park the word Andhra for some time. We'll come back to the formation of the and the while being written down. So Andhra here, and in case it's the and it's if it's the, so we'll come back to that correction in a while. So if there are any corrections for this word, we'll take that up as a a particular session on it. So will that be would we be able to cover it today, Veronica ji, or no?
Yes, some of them are done. Just the is left, and a few more are left, which we can show them today itself.
Okay. So what we will do is we will cover the rule today, right?
Yes, yes, that's right.
Just take another one. One minute, I'll just change the screen. Sorry for the inconvenience. I couldn't change the pen. Okay, so this is another, the next appointment from Akanksha Pende. Again, very nice, neatly written assignment. There are no corrections except in, there's a correction that is marked for Murti. If you see here, so this is a correction written here. While writing R and T, so it will follow the same rule when writing T below any particular letter. So if you're writing T, T would be written half. So if this is R that you're writing, T would not, you don't have to write the full T. The first part of the letter T would basically be merged with the top letter. So if it is R like this, T would be written half. So this will just be a small first curve and the bigger second curve. Here, what you can see in the main homework that is written, the T is written full, which is not incorrect or not the correct form of writing T when it is written below any particular letter. Same in case of Kirti also, if you see here, the letter T is written full, whereas the formation would take like the first half curve and the second full curve of T. So in case of Kirti, and murti, that would be the correction. Rest all the words are correct and very neatly written also. There is this homework from Monica Renaji. Again, a nice, neat assignment. These are rules and some words. I think this was part of the reference material that was given. So, Gandharv, Parth. So these are the formation of ra, va, sorry, va, ya when written with ra. So this is very nicely and neatly written assignment. Okay, this also is part of the reference material. There is just one correction that is given here in case of Kramank is correct. Akrosh here. So sure written here in case of Akrosh. So it's just probably an oversight. The correct form of sure here is given. So here uh, just corrected the sure here if you see. And okay, in case of br, the r is missing, so that is what is shown here. Again, it's just an oversight, it's not a correction, I would say. The rest all is correct. And it's neatly written again. Okay. Now this homework is from Sri Ganeshanji. There are no corrections as such. Let's go word by word here. In karm, again, raw and more correct. Dard, varsh. If you see all the words, there are no corrections as such. Again, in case of arth, panya, vyarth. So ra and the correct formation of tha is noted. Paramarth. Only correction here marked is for arya. So that is ra and ya. The formation of ya along with ra. So basically, when you write ra and ya together, so they are combined. So it is written like this. Shown here also. I'm just, for clarification, I'm just drawing it again. Here, in case of kya, matra is missing. I'll just correct that here. So this is kya, matra is missing. Ka, this is the year being that is written at in the bottom. So ka and year written together. A matra was missing. That is one correction here. In vidya again. So vidya, we would there is another way of writing. So that is the here. Just don't take here too far like here. Just try and draw it below the. I'll just draw that again in case of Vidya if you see. So here, so this is ver. This is e. So while writing the, so this is the that you've written here. Just take here just below it. Don't take it like too far, like just goes beyond the uh, shiro rekha or beyond the main letter, the framework of the letter. Just don't take it beyond that. Just try and write it below the, and there is vidya. So that's one correction that is marked here. Mm, rest, I think rest all are correct. Mm, this is Subhashini ji's homework. Um, in case of charcha, okay, here wherever it is, so while writing r and ch with in this form, I'll just mark that while writing this, you have to follow the Shirorekha, the height of the letter from the Shirorekha. So, for example, if this is the first ch that you're writing, so this is ch that you've written here in case of charcha. The second letter, even though you're joining r here, the top of the letter will be at the same height as the first letter. So this will be r, and this will be ch again. So this is, and then there is charcha. So this particular r would not start from here because this horizontal stroke itself will be the shirorekha. So it doesn't start here. This is incorrect. So the shirorekha would the upper part of r or the horizontal stroke of r itself will be the shirorekha of the letter. So just make note of this again here. The shirorekha that is drawn, it is drawn above the main height of the other letters. So it is not the correct form to write. Rest shra andhra is correct. Pradesh, written Gandharva, correct. Sudarshan, rest, I think there's no other mistake. Jyoti, yeah, rest is correct. Okay, this is category the reference. The reference words are correct, or the reference material that has been written is correct. So there are two corrections here. In case of Karthik, as I had mentioned earlier also, while writing the at the bottom, so it is not written full. This, if you see the written here, it is not written full. It is written half. So this is your r. The first curve is very small, just like an indicative curve, and the second curve of the. So if you see the like this is the letter the. So this particular curve, the upper curve, is just very small and indicative. It basically merges with the top letter, and what you have to write is the full yes, lower curve. So this is the correction which is marked here if you see. And okay, in case of Durlabh, there is a correction which is marked already here. If you see, L, the vertical stroke of L basically is in line with the R written on the top. Whereas here, what you've written is vertical stroke L is starting from the side, which is incorrect. So if you, while writing R with L, the vertical stroke of L basically is in line with the R being written on the top. So those are the corrections in this particular homework. This is homework by Sunil ji. In case of Siddharth, so there is small the and so the and the which is being written. The formation of the, again, I think we'll touch that today again for the rules that are followed for the and the. So I'll just park that one for some time. There is a correction that is that is marked here for Harsha. So we'll just Veronica ji, would we go through the rules for R again, or for just recollection purposes, while R written with
Yeah,
all the types?
the R was written like the horizontal one that we write for J and other letters. That's the
Okay.
correction.
No, would we be able to, I mean, should we just go through that again today, or there are not much corrections here, but I thought maybe just as a recollection for, the A
Yeah, we
category,
can do
B
that. We
category,
can
just
take it as correct revision again.
yeah, just once. So here Ra will follow the rule for the letters without Shirorekha. If we, go through categories of A category, B category. So Ra is written here, and Sh, since it does not have Shirorekha, it is written like this, with Sh being written on the right hand side. Whereas in the main homework, if you see, it's been written like this. So I'll just mark, write how it was written. It was written like this. So it would not follow this particular since Sh does not have a Shirorekha. So it does not follow this particular rule while writing. So that is the correction that is marked here. Um, Again, in case of Sarp, since Per does not have a Shirorekha, it will follow this particular rule and not the other R again, which is written like this on the top of letter. Like if you, this is followed in case of say Jo. So since Jo has multiple touch points with the Shirorekha, it will be written like this. Whereas in case of letters which do not have a Shirorekha, the R follow the rule that is followed while writing with R is this particular rule. Again, in case of Dirg, so G again, it does not have a Shirorekha. So this is the formation that will be followed. And is Kartari. So again, the same rule of the, that the first curve is basically just a very indicative curve. You have to only write half, and probably the R rule was incorrectly written. Correction has been made. So probably it was written like this, what I can make out from the homework. This is not the case of writing, this is not the way of writing the along with R. So it's R, full R, and this the. So we'll try and touch base on the R rule once again as a recollection. I think that is the last homework. Yeah, this is the last one, Veronica ji. So I think we'll just go through the rules once again of R, and then we can take today's session.
Okay, you want to go through it? I mean, you want to show the rules again, then we can go ahead with the class.
I think you can take it because my screen,
Okay,
I don't have that reference material
no
with
problem.
right now. You
I'll
can
do.
just go through the chart if you're not drawing. I don't have the chart with me right now.
Yes, yes, I'll do it. No problem. So as Nidhi ji is mentioning, there are a lot of assignments where we saw that this rule, when it comes to for example, the matra R on top.
I've given you the presenter.
Yeah, can you see my screen now?
No, not yet.
Is it showing now?
Okay. No, it's showing my screen. 1 minute, I'll just give you the rights. You can just try changing the screen. No, I'm not able to see. I'm just
Yeah,
able to
I'm
see
trying
here.
to. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got your. We can see your
Yes.
screen now.
Thank you, Nidhi ji. So now, as Nidhi ji was mentioning about the corrections, there are a lot of corrections where we saw that this matra ra, which is written on the top, for example, this, let's take an example of cha, and in Devanagari, the cha is written like this. I mean, in Sharda, it is written this way. And let's take an example from other letter. For example, ka or cha, let's take. So we have done this rule last week, but I think there is still some confusion with these. So as said earlier, that the letters that have the touch points with the Shirorekha, that touches the Shirorekha more than once, are written with this. When the matra ra is on top, they are written in this way. This is how we write when there are the letters which have more than, which are touching the Shirorekha more than once. This case is with cha, ja, and other jha. And when there are letters which are touching the Shirorekha just once, for example, in case of cha, then this rule will not apply. If we will write it, we will write the ra as the Sharda rule goes. The half letter is written full. Then the cha will come directly below it, since it's a category A letter. Category A letter. So this will be written like this. This rule is only followed by the letters that are touching the Shirorekha more than once, like cha, like you see ja also. It's touching the Shirorekha more than once. Then we have jha, which is again touching the Shirorekha more than once. Then we have ga. Again, this is touching the Shirorekha more than once here. So these letters will be written like this here. But when it comes to cha, pa, or fa, or let's say another example. Now these are the letters that are touching the Shirorekha only once. So they will be written just directly below the letter ra. This is with her. This is with her. Now we have letters that do not have any Shirorekha. For example, pa. Then we have ma. Then gha. So these letters that do not have Shirorekha will also follow the same rule as these. This one, this rule, which are touching the Shirorekha just once. So the letters without the Shirorekha and the letters which are touching the Shirorekha once will follow the same rule, which is this. Ra would be written first, and now pa without a Shirorekha, this category C would be written towards the right side. Ma again without a Shirorekha would be written towards this side on the right. Then gha again without any Shirorekha would be written towards the right side. So only the letters that are touching the Shirorekha twice or thrice or more than once would be written this way. This horizontal line and this rule they will only follow is followed by these letters. Rest all would be written with ra complete, and the letter would be written either below if it is a category A, or right or left, depending on which category the letter belongs to. So this was about the matra ra. And we also had learned about the letters that change form when they are written below or above. So for above, that is only ka, which changes the form, which is written like this, that we have already learned. And there are letters like ya that we had seen last time. It would be written, it would, this shape would be followed. And tha also we learned last time. This is what it is written like when it is written below any other letter. Ta, again, ta, I think we have not mentioned about ta. So ta, it doesn't change the form exactly. What it does is it just merges with the letter above. So I will just show how it works. For example, we have no and ta together. This is no and ta. So when you write in Sharda, you will write no complete and this. This is the first, the head of the, like this one. It will merge with the letter that is written above, and the second curve of the would be written full as shown here. Now, if you want to write it with, for example, let's say here as it is shown, per also will follow the same rule. This, then the curve of the first one would be written just this much. The head will merge and the second curve would be written full. So this is with per. With any letter, you would write it like this. It won't be written full. This way of writing the would be incorrect. For example, this is incorrect. For with the ra also, when we talk about the matra ra on top, which was also done in one of the assignment, this is how it would be written. So the head always merges with the top letter and the second half is written completely. So this way of writing is incorrect. This is how the under any letter is written. So this was the. Now the and na. These letters, the completely changes the form when written below any other letter. This is how the would be written when written below. And na, this part of na, this won't be shown when written with any other letter. It will be directly merging with the letter above and it will be written this way. So for example, we'll take a few examples of how this na and the are written below. Now, for example, we have a word yudh. This is how we write it in Devanagari. Here would be written as it is with matra u. Then the, and now this the, this would be written as per the rule like this. This is the shape. This is the shape. This is the shape that the takes when it is written below. Only when it is written below, it will take this shape. Otherwise, it will be written as it is. Now, in case of R and Dh, like what we saw last time, this. So now, as per the rule, you will think that this Dh would be written like this, correct? As per the rule. But in the reference material, if you all have gone through, we have shared the reference material with you, which shows these few characters like Dh, Y, and other letters like N also. They change the form when they are written with this matra R. So this is the incorrect form of writing with matra R. Otherwise, it is written the same way how I have shown above. But with matra R, these are the characters these are the special characters that change the form when written with the matra R. So this is how it would be written with matra R. And here also, so these are the formations that you will have to remember. Here also would be written like this. Now the other one belonging to this category is V, which also would follow a special rule and would be written like this. So these four letters, including N, I mean, would follow this special rule. These formation, you will have to remember them, that these letters are written in a very special form. Now this N with matra R on top, this is how it is written, and not like this, as there was written in some of the assignments. This is the wrong way of writing it. Again, year was written like this in one of the assignments, as I remember. This is the wrong formation. So these formations you will have to remember. And same goes with the, when written below, it would be written like this. Now, let me take another example of the word like bandh. Right, so ba would be written as it is. Now this no, we write this no complete. Now the here would take a different shape as mentioned, and it would be written like this. So this is the form that the will take when written below. And the last this category is N. So I've already shown how N is written when written with matra R. With other words, for example, there was a word Krishna. So K, as per the rule, would be written like this because it has the matra below. Even if there is a matra below, K will change the form. Not necessary that there should be a letter below K. Even if there is a matra U or Re or any matra, it will change the form. And then Sh would be written complete here. And now this R, it won't be written, this R won't be written like this. So this merges and this curve, it gets attached to the letter above, and this is how it is written. Now when there is a word like Vishnu, where the matra comes under na. So let me write it with in Devanagari first. So this has a matra below na. E, I won't be writing this because we know how it is written. I'll just write the last part of it. So this is sh. Again, the na will merge in the same way here. Now this matra u will attach in this center, right? Because this matra u, which are not written with the Shirorekha, would come below here itself. Yeah? And if there is a matra a here, then as per the rule, the matra will come up because the matras requiring the Shirorekha will always come on the top with the Shirorekha. Matras not requiring any Shirorekha would be written below with the letter itself. This is how the matra U would be written with no. It's written in the middle of this loop. So these were few letters that we did last time, and few were remaining, so that we have completed. Now we are left with the rule of U and R written together. So this is the rule where the letter, then R and U, matra U or U, are coming together. The examples to this, show you how it is done. For example, now we have a word like one second, just give me some examples.
Dhruv, you can mention, or
Yes.
maybe it's not the correct example, but you can just show how to write fruit.
Yeah, let's take examples like that. So this is what that rule is about. Now this is Dhruv in Devanagari, where the matra ra and u are coming together. So as per this rule, the would be written like this. Then I will just show you the formation, how it is written. Actually, I don't have this here. Okay, so this ra, we know the ra is written like this, and now this u will take a formation something like this. It won't be written as per the rule. We write like this. This is how the matra u is written. But when it comes along with the matra ra, this is how it is written. Now, if I take the same letter and change the matra, Dhruv, if I make it the same letter, it will be written in a similar way. Then there is this, here you can see this slant line. Then this matra u, which we usually write like this, will take this shape. This is how it is written. So this rule is for all the letters. It doesn't have any specific letter that doesn't follow the rule. All the letters will follow this rule when matra ra and u are coming together. You can go through this table and see all the letters are following the same rule. Here. Now, for example, you will see that here the dha doesn't have enough space to accommodate the two letters together, these two matras together below. So what you can do is, this is also one way of writing it. And another one, if you don't have enough space, what you can do is just extend a little stroke here, then you attach matra ra to it, and then you have enough space to attach the another one, so that you will see in the table itself. So here you see this, there is a stroke in the middle to support the matras if you want. So that is one way of writing it. The letters which already have a vertical stroke, they won't need it because there is enough support there to adjust these two matras here. So they won't need it. For example, here in cha again, here, I just write it here, cha. You can give a little stroke here and adjust these two lines here. And now with matra u, the rule is again same. The only difference here is this matra u will take this shape. It's curved at the end. Rest remains the same. Only this u will take this shape. Here, this, if I'm writing with cha, this would be written as it is. Then this is how the matra u will be written. This is in case of shru, and this is in case of matra u. So that's the only difference here. It is written straight, and matra u is written little curved towards the end. I have few examples which I can show you how they are written. So, for example, we have a word like bruvan. So this is with ba, I will show. So this ba. If you want, you can give a little stroke here to accommodate the matras. Otherwise, you can directly write it with the base itself. Both the ways are correct. So I have enough space here, so I can just attach the matras here. So this is Hebrew, and this will not change. This will remain as it is. Now here, when you draw these two lines, make sure that the first line is little smaller than the second one, like this. Even though they are of the same size, doesn't matter, but the first line should not be longer than the second one. This formation is wrong. These two can write either a little shorter than the first or of the same size. This formation would be wrong. So that you have to take care of. So this was, we'll write another word, for example, shruti. Shru. Now, shra we have already learned last time, and the matra ra is attached below. This is how it is written, correct? Now, as per the general matra rule, the u should have been like this, correct? But with this special rule, when u and ra are together, this ra will attach here, and this they will be. This is shru. You can draw the same with the Let's try the word through. The item remember. This is through. Fine. Now this matra ra. Now the matra u, ra, and so this is how we will write Drupad. Now we'll take few examples where u is written. Instead of u, we will try with few words that have u with it. Let's take an example of crew. Root. As per the rule of ka would take a form, special form, because there is a matra below it, and there are two matras with it, so it will obviously take this shape. And matra ra will attach here. Now, if it was matra this laghu u, then it would have been written like a straight line. But here we have the deep swar of u, so this would be written like this. And then we have third. Another one, yes, Nidhi has suggested fruit, although it's not a correct word, but just to show you the formation. Right, so now the matra will attach here, ra matra, and then u matra will take this shape since it's u, the deep swar, and will be written as it is. Let's take another example. With bha, we will take it. Room. So bha will be written like this, then the matra ra, and then this u will take this form, little curved at the end. This is room. Now with ga also, let's try it with ga as well. Room, he, Now we have the matra ra, which will attach here. Now this dirgh swar u would be written like this, and then her and matra would be written as it is. Now if we had u matra instead of u here, then the only the shape of that matra will change. Rest will remain the same. This is matra ra, matra u. So this is all that rule is about. This is how the formations. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. There are few questions that that have come up. Is if you could just once again show how to write shru. So in case of shruti, the Devanagari version. So shru is a conjunct in Devanagari also. So if you could just show that in Sharda, and also touch upon a word which has a conjunct and ra matra. So there is a letter on the top. You can just try, some formation, a letter on the top, then a letter at the bottom which has ra and u. So there are two rules, basically 2 or 3 rules that are getting combined here. If you could just draw like a letter, say, which is a no on the top and shra and u. So if all these are being written together, so no half and shra with u. Although I can't recollect a word having such a rule, but if you could just show how to write it, I'll try and find some word which may
I'm
have
just
it.
writing. You just tell me if this is what the question means. Something like this.
Yeah, and u.
Oh, okay. All right. So first I will write shruti as you had said. So shruti would be written. We will write sh first. So in Devanagari also, this shra is a conjunct of sh and ra. So this is how it is written in Devanagari also. It's not written in a the sh and then the other sh like this. Usually sh in Devanagari is written like this, but here as a conjunct in Devanagari also it takes a different shape. So this is matra ra. And this is matra u. This is shru and ti. And if there was matra u instead of u, then this shape will be written like this. So that's the difference between the two. So this is shruti. Now here I have never come across such conjunct, but yes, if you ask, so we can just show it. Then sh would come to the left side of this. Rest will all remain the same. This is shru, nashru. This was the conjunct, right, Nidhi, I think?
Yeah, I mean, same is mentioned. There's no word, but just for an understanding that if there
Yeah.
is, this letter is below, is a part of any conjunct letter. So how it would be written. I hope it's clear. In
Yeah,
case there is
it
any
is.
question,
Yeah.
you can write. Gargiji had raised this question. In case there is anything, she can just. I mean, I would request you to write
Yes.
back.
If you have any questions, then you can put up any word because I don't know any such word. We are not aware of such word. But this is how it would be written. It won't change. Just this, these two matras. You have to remember this, how these are written together. So with this, we have completed all special rules and all matras, and I don't think we are left with anything. We have covered almost all. If you have any questions regarding any special rules that we have learned so far, Now, because with this we complete all the rules. So if there are any questions, we can take that. Otherwise, we can show you some shlokas that are, we can write them in Sharda and see how the words of the shlokas are written. We can try doing that exercise if there are no further questions.
Veronica ji, have you touched upon her with the letters? Any with the
The
her
conjunct,
on
the
the top?
matras?
Yeah,
Yes. You mean the matras, right? Where the matras are attached
the
to her.
conjunct. Just the placement of letters for her. I
Yes.
think we've touched
Yes,
upon
we
that.
have done that. Yes. So with that, so as Nidhi is saying, that all the matras that with her attached here. So we have done that, I think, 2 weeks back or something. So this is all the conjuncts, all the matras will attach to this portion of her. For example, we have a conjunct, we have a half letter with her. That would be also written here. This is her. Half. No. So this is how it would be written. Or let's take a new sheet. Now, for example, we have her and this is her half, and then we have more. Make sure that you have enough space here between these 2 points. And now more will come here. No letter, no matra will attach to her here. Whatever matra, whatever conjunct, whatever letter you have, it will attach here. For example, we have hriday. That re matra will also come here. Any other questions, Nidhi? Then
Yeah. So how to write half her is one question. So the same thing as half her, and it's being written on the top is like this. So in case there is her being written at the bottom, if you could just show that in case her is following a particular half letter, so that'll just clarify. And there's a question.
for example, now this is the half and her full. So as per the rule, the the would be written full. And then letter her would attach directly below it since it belongs to category A. Here, it's touching the Shirorekha just once. So it will be written directly below it without any Shirorekha. If you want to show it with any other letter, for example,
Maybe no and her.
who and her, right?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, it will be written directly below, and the Shirorekha will be omitted. This
There's
is
a
how it is.
question on how to write a word Rashtra. Rashtra or Rashtra, since
Rashtra.
it's in English, so you can show both. If it's followed by A or if it is just a tr. So in ra matra.
So I will first show the Rashtra word. Now, sure, and ter would come below it towards the left side because it's a category B. And towards the left, and then tra. So the matra ra below it. Now, when we have matra, for example, rashtra here. So with the letters like, yeah, this I think we have not mentioned earlier. The words that follow the special a matra rule, which is t, j, then we have na, and na also. So we'll be sharing a few the paper with you, the Sharada paper, recent paper with you, where you can see all these combinations and conjuncts that whatever combination of conjuncts that you can think of, they are all written very nicely and explained very in a very nice way in the paper. So we'll be sharing that with you all today itself. So you will see all the formations with these type of conjuncts, with these type of letters which follow the special a matra rule. Since when the matra a is written with them, they change the form. The matra a is not written like this. So with these, when there is a matra a at the end of the letter, for example, here t has a matra behind it. So in these cases, usually the matra would be written like this, correct? The matra a goes with the shirorekha, so it should come here, correct? And t should come here, right? So this is as per the general rule. All the matras go up with which are written with the shirorekha, and this is how it is written. But in case of letters like j, d, n, and all these, you will see that the matra a is written at both the letters. Here, so here it will become a loop, a bigger loop. This bigger loop represents matra a, and the matra will attach on the shirorekha as well. So in these cases, matras are written at the both with the both letters. So that is only with the case of matra a with these four letters. Ya also is one of the letter. I'm not written it. Now the example to explain it is, for example, khatta. When you write this word, khatta. So this ter is half, then full ter, then half. So here for then we have this ter. Now other ter will attach here below it. Now as per the rule, this a should have come here, right? This is khatta, but since these are this is that special character which follows a different a matra rule, the a will attach to both the letters below and above. But here also a is attached and here also a is attached, and this will apply only to these 5 letters. Except this no is not written like that. For example, if you have no and are together, no, and a. This would be written as it is. Like the na would be written here. So for example, Krishna, that we saw that word Krishna. Let's try it with Krishna. With na, that rule doesn't apply. It will be written as it is. No, a will not attach to na here, but the other letters, ta, ja, na, ya. This is an exception. These four will follow this rule where the matra a will attach to both the letters, upper letter and lower letter. Na will not come under this category. And there is one more thing, I think. Let's touch upon that also. That's usually we see that this the changes the form and is written like this when written below. We just saw it in the beginning of our class. But there is this th and t. These two letters are also seen in the manuscripts. You will see these two also written in a similar way when written below. Although when we write Sharda, because just to make a clear distinction, what we do is we write them as it is. But when you read the manuscripts, when you see the lot of combination and conjuncts, you will find this th and t also written in a similar way when written below any other letter. For example, shisht, the letter word is shisht. This is shisht. So sh. You will see it in the manuscripts. It's written like this and not like this. Although way of writing t like this is not wrong, this is also correct, but because you will be reading and working on the manuscripts in future, so you will definitely need, you should know that this is also a way of writing t under any other letter. Same goes with th. For example, you have mishthan. So I will not write me. I will just start from sh and th. This is sh, and th is written below it. And when the th is written in this form, obviously the a will not attach here. A will attach here. And in case of t also, when t is written in this form, then you will attach the matra here if there is a matra behind this letter. When it is written in this form, it will go up. Only when you write t like this, then the matra attaches to both the letters. Here it will not. With this, the matra is not written. It's written here. So these are few combinations, few variations that we come across only when we read manuscripts. Otherwise, we usually write t and th, you know, like this. This is also one way of writing, which we still, a lot of places we write th like this. And a lot of places will write t like this. But yes, the text, in the old text, this is also one way of writing t and th. And the we already know that the would always be written like this. There is no exception while writing the. We will never write no and then the like this. This is not a combination. Never. The will always be written like this. But with these two, the both way of writing the and the are correct. So this was the last rule. I think we are done with all the rules. Any questions, Nidhi so far?
There are a couple of questions. There's a question which says if you could show her with na, like there is a letter with her, so her is written on the top. So if it's her with halant and letter which has a matra, so na, ta, ta, or da.
You said her first, her with matra a.
Na and matra a. So her halant na or ta and matra a.
No, and then
A.
no is full.
Yeah, and a matra.
This.
Yes.
Okay. This is how it would be written. A will go up and no will come here below
If you
her.
could just show with in case there is a, the special letter ta, just in case if it is ta, then how would we written? How would
Instead
we
of na,
write
there
it?
is ta, correct?
Yes. So in case in place of na, it is ta plus matra a.
Okay.
So ta plus a is a different formation. So just touch upon that.
Now there are two ways of writing it, as we have already seen. That there are two ways of writing ta when written below. So first we will see with the normal way of writing ta, which is like this. Now I'm attaching matra a here and here as well. And now we'll see the other way of writing that we just learned. Now the other way of writing is like this. Here matra will not attach to it because it's a different way of writing ta. Here matra will come just here. This is the two combinations. Here I have attached to ta, and then here also, here I have attached only to the shirorekha, since this is a special formation. So with special formation, we don't write.
There's one last question. If you could show how to write true and true.
Tra, correct? This one.
Yeah.
With
True.
matra u.
Yeah, u and u both.
And
Although it's
both.
yeah.
First I'll show matra u, this one. This is how U matra would be written. And this is this one, the second one here. This would be written true and true.
Gargij is mentioning that if it is true and true, second ter. So what I understand is, so if there are two letters, like a conjunct of half ter, that also has a u, and there is, a full ter that also has a u. That's what my understanding is, because the question is, can you please show true and true with the second ter? So that's what I could make out of the question, that if it is a conjunct, so just as there's no word I would say, but if there are two ters, so first ter also has r and u, and the second ter also has r and u, and they are conjunct. Maybe that's what I could understand, in case
I mean, there is
I
one
get a
more
clarity.
letter along with this, what is shown here. For
Yeah, so
example, there is
there is
na to it.
ter below it also. So if it's ter, and below it also is a ter, which also has a r and u.
There are some combinations which are never seen in any of the texts.
Yeah,
From what the question I understand, this is what it means.
yeah, that's what I could also
So basically,
understand.
there are no combinations. This is grammatically, I mean, I have not seen, there are no combinations as such. So yeah, hypothetically, you will write it like this. It will be written the same way.
Yeah. So in case
But
I get any clarification through questions, that is this what Gargiji is looking
yeah,
for? I mean, looking for, or is there there's any other combination that we have couple of minutes in case I get a clarification, and I'll let you know. Otherwise, just I think numbers would be remaining, that I guess would be sending through the reference material.
yeah, we can show in the next class. We have two more sessions
One.
to go. We'll show in the next
Okay.
class. Also,
Okay.
we were thinking of taking the shloka, but we don't have enough time today, so we'll
Yes,
take it
don't have
next
time.
time.
Sure.
Yeah. So also, I think what we have observed is a lot of students don't go through the reference material, I believe. So there
Yeah, if you could
are
just
all, yeah.
let them know how the reference material is shared with them. Is it through the website, or do they get the link for the drive for the reference material?
I think they get the Vyoma Lab send the link to them, and you have a folder named as reference material, where you will have all the whatever we teach here. All there are videos uploaded, like how to write, how the formations are written, videos plus these images, tables, everything is there. If you go through that, a lot of questions would be answered if you go through those pictures and videos. So which I have observed that many of you, I think, are not aware that there are reference materials also available. So we'll again share that link. If many of you have not got it, we will again share that link, and it is under the name reference material. So all this would be there, and also I will upload this the Greason's paper today. We will upload that also, so that you can see the conjuncts of different combinations and formations of letters. That paper you should always keep with you handy. Page number, I don't remember the page numbers now. Do you remember, Nidhi ji?
The Grierson page number is 257,
Which
I
has all
think.
the
Yeah,
conjuncts.
I'll just give you the correct page number. I think it's 257. However, Gargiji has come back asking if you could just show the r and u combination with th. If you could just draw with th. In the meantime, I'll just check the Grierson paper.
R and th.
Th, th, t, th we have shown. If you could just draw it with th. like intertera, the way we read interver, third.
Okay. So the matra r
With r and u with th.
and u with th. I'm not getting it.
So
Where the
the
matra will
way,
attach to th.
yeah, and rho also. So like we just drew with t. So hypothetically, if it is with th, r and u.
Ah, okay. Again, this is again a hypothetical combination. So th, one way of writing th is this. This is with matra u, and the other combination of writing this is but when we have these matras attached with it, it will always be written like this, because with this we don't attach any matras except when it is the. Except the, we attach the matras. Here. With the, you will attach the matras here, or this matra, or any other matra that comes below. But otherwise, with t and her, when you have to write any matras along with it, it will be written like this. This combination is only written when you don't have any matra or anything attached to it. For example, you have a, then you can write it that way. When you have this true, then this combination is right. This won't have any matras to it. So that is one way of distinguishing between the and ta. If you see this written this way and a matra to it, then this is one way of distinguishing that this is ta if the matras are here, or with the with reference to the meaning of the word also. So with these matras, it will always be written like this and not this.
Veronica ji?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Grierson paper is from 689 page number onwards. That all the participants will have to check. 689 page to 698.
Okay, so these are the page numbers. You can note it down. You'll take a printout of these pages, and you can keep them with you whenever you are writing or reading any manuscript. So these pages are very very helpful. You'll have all kind of combinations and conjuncts written in these pages. Whatever Nidhi just mentioned, 287 to 290. Yeah, we will write it also in the reference material where we upload everything. We will mention the page number there as
well. I think it's
well.
12
So yeah,
o'clock
I
today,
think
so we'll wrap up the session today. And in the meantime, you can as we said that the reference material will be shared through drive links, and we'll request the Vyoma our team members from Vyoma to share the link or the link of those drives with all the participants, where they can check all the reference materials which have been from the beginning of the session. We've uploaded it there, so we'll request them to share that drive link with you. And again, we have 2 more sessions, so we'll cover. In case you have any doubts, you can write to us. We'll cover those doubts in the coming sessions. And Veronica ji has already informed about the Grierson paper. So that's all from us for today. And we shall see you in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nidhi ji.
Thank you, Veronica ji.